Alright, so we're here in the woods, going to go for a quick ride, and we're going to work through some of the things you didn't realise you needed going out for a bike ride. Not everything should be taken seriously, but some things are super helpful, and, well, you can get kind of creative with the things you have on your bike from home. Now, to start things off, we've all been there, we've all overpacked our bags, and that means you're limited on space. No more garments, no more snacks. Also, it means you've got nowhere else to put anything you might need later on, or take something off a friend. That's where fast straps come in. Super handy and made of Hyperlon. They are not only super strong, but mega grippy. Plus they come in a range of lengths. Perfect for things like baguettes, or even extra footwear you might have to hand. Like these. So, get your fast strap, chuck it on your fork blade, and when you get some flat pedals and a squishy bike, you'll be good to go. And in 3, 2, 1, I've got an extra shoe. Perfect. Anything else in here which helps? Well, if like me you wear spectacles or even cycling glasses, a proper lens stop is a huge help. It might seem a bit nerdy, but I'm a happy nerd, only because I use proper wipes. One wet wipe for the glasses and one microfiber. Nothing worse than getting a scratch in a lens having the sun flare off of it, so one thing to consider there. Also, these. Now, I'm not saying ride with music, far from it, but if you've got to go home with a tail between your legs, jumping on a train, a bus or a coach, having some music or a podcast to listen to makes your life that much better. You can listen to Steps, E17, anything you like. Just have them handy. These are jacked, but obviously you can get Bluetooth ones as well. Of course, headphones are great, but if you're lucky enough to have space for a book, that's even better. So, hopefully I haven't got to do that today, but I'm going to carry on, get to the woods and share some more wisdom when I find some. So, riding off-road can get bumpy, and bumpy surfaces means your butt gets pulverised. And one way to get around it is wear a chamois. Also, chamois cream is super important. There are tons of ways you can carry it on the bike. A tub of Sudocrem, a lip balm pot. This time it's Vaseline, but you can put anything else in there. Or, if you're really audacious and space is limited, put it in a sandwich bag. If it works, but try not to puncture it because things can get messy. Alright, let's see if I can find some smoother roads and my bum's happy. Now, being hygienic on the bike is super important. Also, your hands get dirty, whether you're going for a wee, walking in shops, or just handling stuff out in the woodland. An answer to that is hand sanitizer. Not just smart during COVID times. It makes sense to have clean hands. Stops stomach bugs and ensures that you're going to eat food and not for the consequences of something dirty later on. So, really handy. And fast drying is extra helpful because you don't want slippery hands on your bars. On the same theme of things, Compeed. Perfect to prevent and protect blisters, but also excellent for saddle sores. Not all that conventional, but a great solution for the body nonetheless. And also, talking about botties, dog poo bags. No, we're not taking the dog for a ride. These are excellent if you want to get your feet dry and it starts raining. Pop your shoes off, put them over your socks, and they'll cover your feet for a good couple of hours, and ideally you won't have any water ingress from the road or up above in the sky. Really handy and obviously super compact as well. Well, hopefully it's blue skies the rest of the day, but let's come across. I got dog poo bags. So again, going out there and being self-sufficient on the bike means you're going to have everything with you, within reason. And mechanicals can happen. So what are you going to do when things go south and you haven't got much space? Well, little hacks like this. Anyone had shop bought sushi? Well, this little trick makes use of the magical wonder fish full of soy. Give it a rinse and fill it up with your favourite lube, whether that's dry, wet or all weather. sure to sort you out for a day on the bike. But say you've been riding in the dirt, it's rained a little bit, what are you going to do then? Well, toothbrushes are a great solution to make sure you get all that grit out of your drivetrain. Nothing worse than a squeaky drivetrain, but also when you start getting grit and dirt inside the links, it's going to wear things down that much quicker, and shifting is going to degrade because of it. Some other spares which are really helpful out on the road is spare sealant. Sometimes you get tyre tears, sometimes you get little punctures and you can't seal it. That may be because you've got old sealant in there. This is kind of a big container, but it's really handy to make sure you've got at least 2 tyres worth in case things don't go your way. Saying that, another great solution is this. Tiny, goes onto your frame, and it is the Tyre Boot Repair Kit from Restrap. Super helpful, and it comes with some super glue on the inside as well to make sure you can use any size of patch for any tear in the sidewall or rolling surface of that tyre of yours. So if things do get grubby, you're going to want to keep your hands clean, and gloves are super important. But if you haven't got them handy, wipes like this are perfect. They're not baby wipes, these are bike cleaning wipes. And to be fair, they're a little bit fancy, but they do go a long way and make sure things are running nice and clean. Of course, some bike maintenance out there doesn't always need those particular tools. Sometimes you need something a bit more heavy duty, like this, a multi-tool. This one's a Leatherman, and I use it because it has a set of pliers. The knife is really handy as well for cutting up food sometimes at lunch, and you bought some nice treats from a local store, but the pliers, in my eyes, are super handy. Say you got a broken gear cable, it's important to replace it and get the right tension with a set of pliers. If things are slipping, pliers. If things are rounded, pliers. If you got a bad dentist, pliers. Now, of course, going out riding, gravel riding is super fun, but sometimes you haven't got enough space for all that food. That's where a handy old Musette comes in. Really handy for shop runs, pop it into petrol stations, and a hype-on strap. Make sure things stay stuck up in there on your shoulder rather than swinging around. But we're in the woods, unfortunately, no resupply. Snacks. So what? Nature's vending machine. Love a sausage roll.
Is that too?
Yes. So, you know what they say, a full belly is a happy belly. Onwards to more fun and crispy grab. So now we're off the bike, the tent's up, the bike's sleeping. What we're going to do now? Well, first up is getting comfortable, and sandals are a great way of making sure that you're comfortable when you get out of the bike. Your shoes get a chance to breathe, your feet get a chance to breathe, and ideally you post them at least 100 metres away so no one can smell it. And if you can't smell it, that's a win. So they're really easy to clip onto the back of your saddle bag, and well, they're perfect. They don't take up space, they're just there, flapping around, and of course, big brownie points, because they look dope on the bike. So let's start out with some flip-flops. So if comfort is king, what's next? Your feet can now breathe. But if it's cold out, do you really want to sit in your bibs and have cold legs? One thing that I take with me sometimes is a set of long johns. They're not classy, but they are thermal, and it means you can walk around without wearing your bibs all night. Also, excellent idea, a pair of running shorts, super lightweight and stuff in your saddleback, no problem as well. So now we're comfortable, you've got a few layers on, you're going to start cooking, right? Well, you can use a little kettle like this and a small stove, or if you have a dangle mug, which every professional bikepacker should do, enamel mugs you can cook with. So whether you're going to put beans in or some noodles, this is a great shout to make sure you're being more efficient with your packing. But remember, if you're cooking with enamel mugs, they can get quite hot. One way of ensuring you don't burn your lips and your fingers is using something like this. It's a little charity band. This one is Help for Heroes, but obviously they come from in all shapes and sizes, but mainly in this size and this shape, but just different colours and brands. So that's awkward. Now say you've cooked in your enamel mug, you're very full, but you've got half a bag of something in there, you need to tie it up with something. Well, take a tie with you. I find double Windsor helps a lot here, and more importantly, wrong tie, sorry, 1 second. Ties like this, really handy for closing little things up. So you just rip one off, got a little bit of metal inside, and you can tighten things up, rather than having a bag loose in your bag and just causing a mess and getting over all your clothes and bits and bobs. So don't bring a tie, bring a tie. Okay, thanks. Now, a gift and curse of the outdoors, of course, is creepy crawlers, but nothing worse than mosquitoes and midges. There are a few ways to get around that. One thing I always carry with me is some bug repellent. This stuff is by Life Systems and it is good for mosquitoes, but of course there are good midge repellents out there as well. Ireland, Wales, Scotland, even the south of England now have a midge problem, so make sure you're protected with something like this. Good quality midge net. What's more, it's just really fashionable, I guess. Now when you think of camping you might think about campfires as well, and that is a great idea, but make sure you do it safely. Either use a lighter or a nice set of fire starters to get things going, but make sure it's in a safe place away from any low-hanging trees, and make sure you've got a nice clear area away from the tents. I carry all my fire starting kit in a waterproof bag. I rarely have campfires on my own, but if I do, this is the kit I have with me. A magnesium lighting rod, a fire starter, and a waterproof box with some matches in. So of course camping is ideal when it is in a nice quiet spot, but it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it could be bright really early in the morning, but also quite loud. Maybe you're next to a factory or a road or someone snoring really loudly. Guilty party over here. But there are ways around it. Some earplugs and a buff like this go a long way. Really handy and super compact. Keep in your top tube bag or keep them next to your toiletries and you can guarantee yourself a much better night's sleep. Few things can be more frustrating than getting your tin out to cook some food and already have loads of residue in there. So something like a microfiber towel is really helpful to make sure you can give things a good clean and no rust appears at the bottom of your canister. Now if you've lucked out and found yourself a great spot in the woods to camp out, you're going to have loads of trees on offer. And maybe you've taken a while to get there and it's been hot and sweaty. Well, you don't want your kit to fester inside the tent. So either bring some paracord or a couple of shoelaces tied together as a makeshift drying line. Really straightforward, tied to 2 trees and hang up your bibs, your gloves, your socks, even a t-shirt if needs be. Okay, so those are some of the things you didn't realise you needed bike packing. Hope it was helpful. Obviously if there's things we missed out, let us know in the comments below. For now, I'm going to take a kip in the middle of the day and cook while the sun beats down on me. Okay.